Ja, jeg tror det bliver bedre, hvis jeg taler engelsk, fordi hvis jeg taler portugisisk, og så skal jeg så sætte defensive og så skal jeg sige noget på dansk, og så når jeg kan tale engelsk, så er I med på, så bliver det mere ligeligt. Okay, we will try to make this introduction in English all the way. Maybe we will use some Portuguese, but he was a trainer in England, so I think it will be okay. We are very tired. We have to make a tournament today, and it's going to be a vision that you're going to receive from these two coaches, the way they play, the way they want to play, and so you can put their vision in our play process. So when we are finished, we are Danish, but when we are finished here, we will go to the pitch, and then we will make a recovery, active recovery. So and at the same time, he will put you in the places, and he will try to make a defensive block by showing you how to compensate, how to help the colleague when they go and try to get the ball. So you know better how you can close the space between the lines, and how you can work as a team to go and make the pressure. Okay, but it's nothing that we're going to run and make a lot of energy, because we don't have that energy. So the ones that they have pains and the ones that are not full recovery yet will normally test in. They will only stay there and look. And the rest we make a little very little we warm up, and then we just say and show the vision about how we have to place with the ball, how we have to how you have to skift, because it's going to be also very important for the game today, because we have to be close, compact in our defense, so we can make as good as possible. So I will give you the word.
Then you speak
Yes, it's all the way.
Okay, so morning everyone, my name is Chagas, this is my assistant coach, I'll try to do this presentation in English because I think it's easier if you understand what I'm saying and we don't need anyone to translate us. So if anyone has any question or doesn't understand what I'm saying, please put your hand up and I'll try to explain it again. So Coach Mario asked us to talk about the defensive process. Well, we'll try to give you our vision on what's the defensive process and what's the key points that we need to cover when we're thinking of the defensive part of the game. I know that everyone likes the offensive part of the game because you have the ball. Thank you. But the game has 4 moments, as you should know, and one of the moments and one of the important moments is the defensive part. And if you want to win games, you need to defend as well, because there's no point on scoring 5 if you concede 6. Everyone agrees, yes? So clear for now. Okay, so I'll try to. I'll explain you first what we're going to do. I will talk now, and as the coach said, we'll do something on the pitch. Like active recovery, as he said, just to explain you your positioning that you should take and what you need to understand. The first thing I want to talk about is if
Yeah, sim.
okay. You play zonal defending, right? Yeah. You agree? Yeah? Okay. So we have 4 key points that we need to know when we talk about zonal defending. Does anyone know which are the key points? No? Anyone? Any idea? So you're on the board, yeah? First thing, to defend zonal, you need to see where the ball is and where you need to be on the pitch concerning the place the ball is. Yeah? Everyone agrees?
Yes, sir.
Then, second, teammates. Why teammates? Because we can only press, or we have to recover and create a lower defending zone. We need to be aware where our teammate is. What I'm saying is, if we have to have a notion of two things here. Is the ball covered? Is anyone doing the pressure? And is he closing the lines of passing or not? And that's important because if someone is on top of the ball, we can push up and press. If the player has space with the ball, can we push up and press? Who said no? Why? Can anyone help him?
Posso fazer a pergunta de novo?
Do you want to queres que faça em português?
Pode ser?
Sorry, I'll talk in Portuguese for you to understand. Sorry. O que eu estava a dizer é, se a bola não estiver coberta, ou seja, se ninguém sair na pressão rapidamente e encurtar o espaço, podemos nós pressionar alto e subir o bloco ou não?
Não, porque só vai criar espaços nas duas costas.
Well, he said it right in Portuguese, I'll say it in English. The thing is, if the player with the ball has space, we cannot press or push higher on the pitch because we'll create space on our back. So that's an important notion that you have to have when you're talking about defense, and especially the four at the back. Because if so if the ball is covered, you can push up a little bit because you know that this player with the ball here has a man on top of him, yeah, and you won't be able to put the long ball on your back. If it is like this, you need to hold your line because you can put a long ball into a back. Striker do L movement as we do here in Portugal. It's very common, and you'll have lots of space in your back. Did you understand this bit? Yeah. Okay. Third bit, and it's concerning these two as well. It's space. And what I mean by space is where we are on the pitch, and that we need to adjust by that. Imagine, if you're closer to our defensive area, the space we need to defend, it's smaller, right? If the ball is our offensive area, we have a bigger space to cover. So you need to be aware of this. And then the space between players. So, awareness of space is very important. We need to know where are the areas we press. So, your coach told me there is you press normally. Which are? Do you know? Where are you supposed to press the ball? Any ideas? No? Come on, don't be afraid.
Juntar linhas no meio campo, mas deixar entrar no nosso meio campo.
Okay, so he said, and it's It's true, as your coach told me. So, imagine this is opposition team. This is center backs and full backs. When the ball gets here, we press. Okay? When the ball gets in these spaces, we press. Right?
Yes.
So, this concerns the space, where and when and how. Three things we need to know. Where, it's here, here, or here. When. Why when is important? Why do we need to know when? Can we press if the team is not organized or not? No? Why not?
Because we are opening spaces.
Yeah, that's true. So, if we're not organized, we can't press because, imagine, we start to press here, but our center mids are here. You press here, he plays here, and we're dead. Yeah? And then, anyone knows the fourth point? Any ideas? What are we missing here? We have the ball, we have the teammate, we have space.
The enemy.
Yeah, the opposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the enemy. It's war. It's war. Opposition worked very well. We need to be aware of the opposition as well. And this is important. Why? Because the opposition, it's always trying to trick us and to make plays that open the space they want to be open for them to play. Have you heard the expression playing between lines? Yeah. So that's what everyone's trying to do against us, and that's what we are trying to do against them. So that's why we need to be aware of the opposition. Other key point, because of the opposition, for me, one thing is very important. And normally, in your ages and young players, it's a big problem. I don't know about Denmark, never been there, unfortunately. Been in Sweden, great country, good players. Yeah, you disagree, I know. Yeah. You have to invite me to go to Denmark, then I'll change my opinion. Okay, opposition. And young players don't like to communicate. You talk a lot on the pitch, or? Yeah, if you don't talk here, I'm sure you don't talk on the pitch. So that's a big problem, because of the awareness of space in the opposition, one of the key points is I need to help my teammate. Not only by moving to the right place to defend, but by communicating. Telling, your man, it's in your space. That's very important. Imagine, this is a simple situation I'll do here. You play with two center backs, right? Yeah. Who's the center backs here? Hands up. Okay, center backs. Normally you play against one or two strikers. One or two? One, most of the time. Okay, so he's here. You play zonal, yeah? If he's here and he moves here, this one is the first one to see this movement. And he needs to tell this one that it's in your space. Because most of the times what happens is he keeps running here and the two center backs are almost together because you didn't communicate. Same thing. Have you ever played against a team that plays with two strikers? Yeah? Yesterday? Yeah. That's a tricky one. Most of the central defenders hate playing against two strikers. And that's, well, I have my opinion on how should you defend against two strikers, but that's my opinion. But I only want to show you here one situation. They have two, yeah? But normally, they're not here, right? Because what they want is to do this, and this one does the same. Yeah? Did this happen yesterday? Was he always running to the left or right side? And what do the center backs do? Do they run after him? Do they stay? They hold? Yeah, carry on. You stay or you run? You run? Okay. So, okay. Yeah, no problem. There's room for water. Yeah, there's no rush. Okay. So he comes here. Yeah. You're not the center back, right? Yeah, it shows. Just joking. Yeah. So, but he gave a fair point because now I'll have the opportunity to explain. If you run, what will happen? Imagine, he runs here, and you run after him. Look at the space in the middle. Which area should you protect all the time in the game? The central area. Because the goal is in the center. What you need to do here is communicate. When he comes here, the right back needs to deal with this. And I'll tell you more. I'll go a bit further on this explanation because this, I think, is a good example on defending zonally. When you defend zonally, first you think the ball, then teammates, then space, and only at the end of position, right? So, number 6, is it 6? And yeah. Okay. Very important, at least for me on my vision. Because I have no problem playing, well, I don't play now, but my players normally don't have problems. We do this. Because the important, it's not the players, it's the ball, it's a teammate, space, and for last the opposition. Why do I do this? It's triangle. And if the ball, imagine the ball is here, just need to adjust here, and there's no line of pass here. So you need to understand the game starting at the front, because the most important defenders, at least for me, it's the strikers, the wingers, and only them. Because I want to defend as higher as I can in the pitch. Why? Does anyone know?
Because when you then get the ball, you go closer to go.
Yeah, that's one, offensive transition. And another one is, the closer they are to my goal, their opportunities to score increase. And I don't want that. So, the higher we defend, the best. So that's why I'm not worried about, do you know the principles of defending? You know? No? Anyone? No? Em português? Sorry.
Sim.
Princípios defensivos?
Ele quer dizer central.
É? Eu
sou.
Chutar central.
Os princípios de defesa são defender, em teoria, não estou a ver.
Contenção, só
To defend our goal and to win possession.
Sorry?
The two things is to protect our goal and to win possession.
Yeah, that's a good point, but I'm talking now more academically. but it's fair point. In the end, the game resumes to two things, and this is to everyone. If you have the ball, you have to score. If you don't have the ball, you have to get the ball back. And notice, I'm not saying you have to avoid scoring. I'm telling get the ball back. Because everything in the game it's about the ball. When you have the ball, you think on scoring. When you don't have the ball, you think on getting the ball. That's my view of the game. And that's what I try to teach to my players, any age, is if you have the ball, to score. Then there's many ways to score. But when you don't have the ball, you have to get the ball back as higher as you can. So, more academically talking, when you're talking about defending, and now I'm in my head trying to convert it to English, the first thing is create superiority in terms of number of players. It's the first thing. Second is, if you can't create that superiority, at least have the same number of players defending, and at all costs avoid being outnumbered. Did you understand this? Okay. But getting back to this example that I think is a good one. As you see, it's 2v2 here. But if this player comes across, for me, it's not a 2v2 situation. It's a, there you have, because this will take him and come inside, create a 2v1 here, right? And then this one here, coming across here, creating a 2v1 here. And then this one will go inside and tap in. And for me, it's a 2v1. Why? This is my vision. I might be wrong. It's my vision. This is a 2v1. Why? Because first of all, if he wants to play here, he has to go over the top. Yeah, he can't play it on the floor. And what is easier to receive? Is it a pass on by the air or on the ground? What is easier? What do you prefer when you get the ball? You prefer
On the ground.
yeah, sure, everyone does. Because when it's in the air, it's more difficult for you to receive the ball, and it will give time to this player go down, this go inside, and if it is in this position, who's a center back here? You are, right? You know everything about defending. Who's a center back? I need a center back here. Yeah, come here. It's better than the ball. Man, you're tall. Don't you have a small center back? Go past him. Nah, no worries. So imagine, he's putting the ball to me on the air, you're defending, the goal is there. Yeah? You can mark me? No worries. He's marking me, yeah? If I get the ball there, where's the goal? I said behind. Can I go there? Why?
Because he's staying.
Yeah. So I'll have to receive the ball, and then it depends if my touch is good or not. If it's good, probably I'll get it on my feet. It will stay here. If it's bad, it might go there, or everywhere. And then we have, who's the defensive midfielder here? You are? Yeah. Get up. Yeah, stay there. He's doing the pass at the back. It was a pass on the air. I received it. And you just come a little bit closer. Yeah. Closer. Yeah. Come back. Now I have nowhere to go. Because I can't turn. And if I go there, you can nick the ball from me. Yeah? And my right back will come inside as well. Because we need to protect the central areas. So that's why for me, this is a 2v1. Okay? Did everyone understand this? Okay. Okay, thank you. Everyone, I will have to play against you. So, you can have all of this, you can be really smart, understand everything of the game. when it talks about defending, there's one thing you need to have, which is, didn't heard that? Anyone? Ideas? Nothing? You look like you know. Really? I see in your face. You don't know. No worries. I didn't know when I was your age. So, all of this is important, but you need to have the right mindset to defend. The intensity you put in the game when you're defending, it has to be top level. Because you cannot press anyone if you go like this. This is nothing. You can't play like this, never, ever. You need to be quick, you need to be fast. I'll use this word and don't use it, don't understand it in the wrong manner. You need to be aggressive. Not aggressive by being violent, aggressive by being aware of everything. And if I see the space that I have to cover, go quick, 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 quick. That's why we can't do a training on defensive organization today. Because you can't give me that today, because you're tired. But that's impossible to defend. And if you don't have the intensity needed to do that, and that's very important. Because you can be on the right places, everything's beautiful, you're seeing on the TV with a great camera, everyone's plays very well. But then it's not working because people are not putting the effort that is needed when it comes to defending. Does everyone understand that? Who's a striker here? Okay. Do you like to defend? No. No. I was a striker as well. No? Wingers. Yeah, I know you don't like to defend in your but this is true. This is as for me, I was a striker. Played very good clubs. At least I think they were very good. Played for the national team. Blah, 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 blah. Not important. But I didn't like to defend because I'm a striker. I thought, I'm a striker. Just give me the ball, I'll score, everything's okay. That's not true. That was 30, 40 years ago. It's over. Do you like to watch football on the TV?
Yes.
Do you see the strikers nowadays? Well, you're young, you can't see the older ones that didn't move the thing to defend. But today, they all defend. And you might say, what?
Nós fomos ver o Benfica Porto.
Okay. So you went to see Benfica? Yeah, great game, yeah? Benfica won, everything's okay, Portugal is happy. Oh, yeah. So you're sad. Just a joke, I'll try to explain it. He supports a team that does not win nothing for the past 15 years. So since he was born, he's sad. Now I understand his face. Well, I played in Sporting Lisbon for 4 years, so lots of respect for them. Just a joke, yeah. Okay, so did you saw the players defending? You saw the wingers and the strikers defending, or it's just my imagination? Did you saw it or not?
Yes.
You saw it. You were the only one. You saw the same game as me. But the thing is, and most of the times, why don't you like to defend? Why? Because you need to run, right? And you don't have the ball. It's true. Yeah. Yeah. You don't have the ball. And you need to run. Boring. Why? Why? But the thing is, most of the time, you don't need to run a lot. You need to run smarter. Because you see lots of players running and running and running and running, but they're always on the wrong place. And you see players, man, this player doesn't run, but he always has the ball. Why? Because he runs smarter. As a striker, You're a striker, right? It's the easiest place to defend. Really? Really? You disagree with me. When you get to my age, you'll see I'm right. Right? Because if they went past you, the coach won't be, come on, you need to defend because you still have 10 more behind you. So you're almost free of pressure. Not if I was the coach. I hate strikers because they're lazy. You're not lazy. Nah, okay. That's only in Portugal. In Portugal, all the players are lazy. Right? So, jokes aside, the thing is, sometimes you don't need to run a lot, you need to run to the right places. Imagine I'll create here a situation. Right back, center back, left back. Ball is here, you're defending. Okay. Left winger, went to press. Striker, where do you need to go? Between. Okay. It might be right. It is, I'm not joking, because it depends of your style of play, the way your coach coaches. That might be different than mine, and I'm sure it is, because there aren't two coaches that think the same. I would tell you, go here, on this space, and avoid him to do this, because if you're here, you won't be able to pass here. If he receives, if he's playing, think, because football is not only running, it's being smart. This is a center back, and he's playing on the right side, because his goal is here, right? So, which feet do you think he uses?
Right.
God, he's playing on the right. Normal, how many left-footed players are here? Most of the team. He wants to be left-footed for today. We'll see on this. Okay, so just create this situation, yeah? Just avoid. Most of the players, and if you play on the right side, normally you'll be right-footed. So, he will receive the ball. I'm very right. This is his right foot. He'll receive the ball here, right? So, if he wants to go here, he still has to turn to pass it with the right most of the times. So it's easy to you to cover this space. If he receives here, you can press from here. And he can't go here, and then you have one of your center mids closing this space here. Yeah. And then he has two options. That try to pass here, and this is covered. Try to go here, he's under pressure, and go here. And this one might nick the ball, and the goal is here. I wouldn't risk it. I wouldn't. So probably here, we'll have to kick it long. And then we'll have the ball back. Do you understand this? I'm just talking about 3 players now. And I'll try to progress this just a little bit. So, right wingers here. Any right winger? Right midfielder? Okay. Where do you think you should be if the ball is here and if the striker is here?
Maybe between the center backs and one center back.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a bad option. I would say, for me, because what I'm not worried here, it's this player. Because if you need to press, you need to understand what's the zonal part of the game. And when you defend zonally, normally, if you do this, This one, normally, it's always open because there's no danger here. And because if the ball travels from here to here, you have time to press there and to adjust and go across. So I would say you should come here and play as a far midfielder, because if the ball comes inside, you have a numerical advantage because most of the teams play with 3. If they play with 4, at least you have the same number of players. If the ball travels here, and now this is a tricky one. If you can do this and put the ball to this center back, what should this player do? Should he go? Should he stay? Any ideas? He should stay. Yeah. I would stay as well, because if he goes here, the ball travels here, and then to adjust, you have to come with a center mid here, and then you open space in the middle, and you're always running, but you're always one player short. So, and if it travels from here to here, what should he do? Should he stay or should he press?
Press.
Yeah.
Should I go?
Press, mainly because of 2 reasons. First of all, it's a long pass, so it's hard to receive. The ball might go everywhere and you can't nick the ball. And because you have time to adjust. Man, he presses here. You see, striker, you don't need to run much. You just need to do this. Can you do this? It's so hard. And then, then you'll do the same on the opposite side. You'll come here. Yeah. You understood this? You did the same on both sides with minimum effort. Of course, everything in football is not perfect like this. Sometimes there are different situations that we need to adjust. I'm talking about a perfect situation where everyone is on the right places. But this is important about defending. You need to know where you need to be at all the time. If you don't know that, if you don't do that, your team's in trouble because you're not doing your job. A player of mine this week, we had a decisive game, playing for the title, and before the game, he made everyone stood up, hold hands, and you know what he said? This is the way you need to play. Holding hands together as a unit, as a family. And we're defending. Here in Portugal, we cry all the time. We're really hard, really connected with people, so we say it's like family. But I don't know about Denmark. But it's holding hands and playing together. If that don't happen when you're defending, impossible to defend, guys. It's just a small example. I started from the top, then we'll go to the field, try to do recreate some situation that I'll try to place you on the right places, or at least the places I think that are the right places. This, for me, is the most common situation, and I explained this one because in my team we press high. So this is 80% or 90% of the time, this is where I want to get the ball. The top. Because that's my vision of the game. If we don't get the ball here, then we need to think on regroup, defend, lower the block, and then wait for the right moment to go and get the ball again. But for me, this is a key point. And so I'm talking about 3 key players at the top and 3 center mids. And you can do it different ways, different ideas, okay? You can lower your striker to, if you imagine the two center backs are not good with long balls or with running with the ball, so you're not worried and you don't want him to get in your space, so you can put your striker a bit lower and then you'll need to run a bit more. That's harsh, I know, but it's reality. So it's many ideas, many things. The key points of this one, then being aggressive, being intelligent, communicate, and if you want to play the game, you like to have the ball, yeah? That's why you play football. Because if not, you would go running or swimming or anything. So you like the ball. If you like the ball, as we say in Portugal, you need to do the dirty work. And the dirty work and the hard work is without the ball. And the faster you do it, the faster you get it, the better. Who here likes Barcelona? Only one. You killed me now. I love Barcelona. There's no problem, they're not winning this year, so that's probably why you don't like me. I don't like them this year as well. So they have, but did you ever see Barcelona playing with Guardiola or Bayern this year? Yeah? With Guardiola? Yeah? He has a rule, 6 seconds to get the ball. He does it every time in training. Every time, 6 seconds, 6 seconds. That's why when they lose the ball, you always see the pressing guy trying to get the ball. If they don't get it in 6 seconds, they go back. So, is it worth it to work 6, 10, 12 seconds hard to get the ball or not? I think it is. Because if you don't do this 6, 10, 12 seconds to get the ball hard, you'll be without the ball. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. If the other team is really good, if it's like Bayern or Barcelona, or a really good side playing possession, he'll be running and running and running because you didn't want to do the work in the beginning. Because if they do the possession here, if they're a good team playing possession, you come here, they go back, you go up, they go up. You'll be running and running and running. That's what top teams do. And so, for me, what I try to explain to my players is 10, 12 seconds hard work, and then we get the ball. Instead of 2, 3 minutes running after it. That's important bit. Anything else to cover?
No, it's okay. It's perfect. I think it's okay.
Do you have any questions, anything you want to ask? Anything at all? Don't be afraid to ask any question you have, or anything I wasn't clear about. Just feel free to ask, even if you think it might be different, or if
What if we don't get the ball?
if you don't get the ball. You mean here on the top, when you try to press, what do you mean by what do you do when you get the ball? You mean you're trying to press here and you don't get the ball, yeah? You need to readjust, regroup, go lower, and then wait for the right moment again. I'll try to do recreate there. I think it's easier if it's visual. So imagine. Notice once again, no one here. I'm not worried about this intermediate, I'm not worried about this, because we have time to adjust. Okay. So imagine, the ball travels here, the lazy striker doesn't do his work, ball goes across. Okay? And this player is late to get the ball, yeah, to press. So, what you need to do is
Huh?
probably he'll try to do this, or he'll go inside, normally, and the ball is in the fullback. Or he runs with it if it is a good fullback that is good running and he has space, he will run with it. And that's a different idea that we need to adjust from another point of view. But if he's good passing, probably do this. When he gets here, if this player is smart and if this player is quick, he'll go here, he'll press here. This kind of passing, that, he'll go here. Line of passing that. We can close them here. You need to readjust, regroup, go back and press wherever you have to. And he goes inside. If it's quick here, yeah? Because then you need to think. This question is good because you need to have a man press and then the other have to think about lines of passing. And you need to cut the lines of passing. And if you do this, you can press again. Ball covered, ball not covered. The ball's covered, you can press it. If it's not covered, you cannot press. Then you just have to readjust the moment. And then it depends on your style of play or wherever. What I say to my players is something like this. If the ball gets there, I can't press. This is what we do, or we try to do, is hope that he's not good running with the ball, because if he's good running with the ball, it'll create new problems with the 2v1 here. And you need to be really fast adjusting with the center if you come here, trying to do a 2v2. And if he's good passing, we adjust here and we press when it gets here, when it gets here. Was that what you were expecting? Yeah? Any other questions? Anything else?
When you at the midfield, what do you think about the number 6? Should he try to cover him, or should he go free and back up the other places?
That's a good question. Because it depends. For me, the number 6 is one of the most important players in the game, because he covers lots of ground. He needs to be really smart. If you play like this, what I think, because I'm always thinking on defending from the top, I think the most important that he needs to do is come across all the time to avoid the line of passing in between lines. Because if, imagine things like this, yeah? The lines, yeah? Normally, he has, most of the time, a space in between the defensive part and the center legs, right? So, if the ball comes to this side, for me, it needs to come across and give cover here. If a pass goes inside, or if it goes a long ball here. For me, this is my vision of the number 6. He needs to be smart. He doesn't need to run a lot. He needs to know where to be, the right moments in the right places. And for me, it's give cover to this 2 and give cover to this 4, going across and thinking all the time. Because this is the main key on defending. Most of the times, you think the other way around. The first thing you think when you're defending is the opposition. It's normal. You see a player running. Who said that if the striker would come here, you'd go after him? Was it you? Yeah, because it's normal. You think you should run after people. It's not. You need to be aware of what the ball is. Lines of passing. That's what you need to understand. And if the ball's on this side, you need to come across, avoid long ball to the striker. And think if this man goes for 1v1 situation and is a successful one, then you need to go there, press him, and avoid him to have space to run. So most of the times the defensive midfielder is covered on both ends, okay? More than thinking about the players or the man that will show up on his own. Was that what you asked? Was that what you wanted to know? Yeah? Is it okay? Anything else? Think if you ask more, you train less. It's up to you.
Ivan, estão aqui, eu sou português.
Ok.
Estão aqui dois guarda-redes novos. Neste processo defensivo, o que é que tu achas que são os fatores mais importantes que eles devem ter em jogo?
Quer responder em português ou responder em inglês?
Não, eu percebo.
Okay. So what you asked was about the goalkeepers, because if you notice, I didn't talk about the defenders and the goalkeepers. Talk really few about the defenders, because it's the way I see defending. The goalkeepers, very important, and they need to be aware of all time. One thing, and if you're goalkeepers, you know that better than me, because I was a goalkeeper. And you need to be aware of all times. And you need to be aware as well where the ball travels. You need to adjust your positioning. Be always on your toes. And by that I mean be always aware if a ball goes into space and if you need to go that ball. And if you try to push up, you need to push up as well to be compact. If they go back, you go back. That's very important to defend. And then you need to come across as well sometimes. Go to the sides. Imagine ball traveling here. You need to come slightly to his side to be. At least this is my vision. To adjust your positioning. If the ball goes through here, you're closer. One thing. That's very important. And then another thing, it helps a lot because the main thing for a goalkeeper, especially if talking about my team, it's easy for me to talk about my team. We want to press high, and most of the times, luckily or not, we have success on defending high. And it's normal for a goalkeeper when a team presses high for him to switch off the game, right, coach?
Yeah.
Because the ball doesn't get there that often. So he switches off the game. One thing that's very important is, if you know that you're a part of the offensive process as well, you're always on your toes, you're always communicating, giving a line of passing as well when you have the ball. And that helps you when you don't get the ball. Because if, the strikers have the ball, I don't need to do nothing. When it gets to the defensive bit, you're switched off. And then it's hard to switch on again. Because you're like, the ball doesn't. So you need to always be aware of the space as well, the ball, and go and give, when attacking, giving a line of pass, when you're defending, be aware of the true ball as well. And adjust with your positioning. If it's closer to the area, you should know where it be. I would say for me, it will be depending on the positioning of this tree, because this will go here, this will go back. So you need to be aware of your teammates' positioning as well. Because imagine, if these two are really good in the air, it's one thing. If they're really bad, it's another thing. What's the difference, goalies? For me, I might be wrong, it's my opinion. But if they're really bad on the air, you probably need to be 1 or 2 steps higher, ready to get over there. Yeah. If they're really good, probably you can play it safe and stay inside, because most of the goalies don't like to go up. It's normal. Sometimes because of the size, sometimes just because it's hard thing to do to adjust to the ball. So that's one thing you need to know your teammates as well, and you see them the positions they have, and then if they're good in the air, probably stay more. If they're not that good, you like to go a bit out. It's the same when you're thinking with the set pieces. Am I talking too much, Mark?
No.
Is that okay?
It's okay.
If I'm talking too much,
No.
I'm going to go ahead. this year had a real problem. We considered at this time, you probably think I'm a really bad coach, but the thing is, to be honest, I have one player that is his height, everyone else is about his height, and it's a first team. Because I think we're Barca and I like small players and we need to play, I'm crazy, that's the thing. So, set pieces, we have huge problems. 29 goals conceded this moment, 22 from set pieces. I'm really bad. That's my problem. Because I didn't recruit that good players because they're too small. But the thing is, I have small players and I have a small goalkeeper. It's a problem. Yeah, it's a problem. Because you think we can try to see what I'm thinking. I defend zonally in a line. See the refresh show. Free kick here. Goalie. Yeah. And I'll do line of 6, line of 2. This is the way I defend. No, it's right or wrong. Oh, then I have 2 men here. One is here. You should go a little bit back. And the other one is here, almost in the line. Okay, this is my wall. I want to put one man in the wall. Why? Because if it's that bad kicking, elite 1 or elite 2. So, and then if he plays short here, he can come here. Most of the teams now unfortunately try to do stuff like this. And one thing, if he doesn't cross it that well and it goes like this height, this will be the first man to cut, and then we can push up fast with this speed. This is what we think. We have 6. But then I have a problem. I have 6 midgets. And plus 1 in goal. I was thinking to do, I was thinking, what do we do? It's crazy. And I said, so we should go down or go up? What do you think? There's pros and cons in both.
I think you should go up.
We should go up. Why?
Then they can't make a header.
Good idea. But my goalkeeper is a midget. And if it goes in the space between them and my goalie, because my goalie is a midget, he doesn't want to play outside the goal. There's a goalie here. Get up. Okay. Yeah, my keepers are about, probably a little bit higher. Good luck. Which position do you play? Midfielder. Okay, here we go. Would you like to play outside? You would have to be almost here. And thinking about guys this size going for a header with you. Do you like it? Honest. Of course not. So that's a very good idea. Thank you. You can go down. It's a very good question. I agree with you. I agree with you. Because it's harder for them to have.
Eu dizia que baixávamos as linhas, porque assim, mesmo sendo pequenos, atacávamos a bola de frente e o guarda-redes tinha mais uma zona de segurança para poder segurar a bola.
This is the pros and cons. Both have pros and cons. It's the vision. As you said, you will go lower and the keeper would stay inside of the goal where he feels more comfort. And this will attack the ball from the front. But then he has a problem. It's easier to them to have because imagine a mismatch. Who's a small guy here? And he's a small guy. It's small. In comparison. Sorry. Imagine. He's defending. He's attacking. The goal is there. Even if it goes to attack the ball, you can just do a flick like this Oh, because it's too close to our goal. You understood what I'm saying? So, I use this, what you said. I said, I don't care, you're small, but you need to be aggressive. Attacking the ball. I said, we'll push up, and you have to cover more ground. And I practice. I'll talk about it now. Since the beginning of the season, almost every game, we were conceding a goal. A free kick like this. We changed. 5 games now, we didn't concede nothing because we trained a lot with the goalies. Boost their confidence to play outside of their area, the one they like to be, and it's working. But there are pros and cons and pros. This is my feeling. I think the goalie coach agrees, at least he's more or less.
Eu tenho uma teoria muito específica em relação a isso.
Estou aqui a falar sobre isso que eu estou a precisar. But the thing is, it's my opinion, the goal is really important. And one thing I don't know if I told is communication. All the time.
Yeah. All the time.
Goalie needs to be a leader. What he says is the order. And when we were coaching this, when I was coaching this, I went to my goalies. They were like small, and they don't like to talk. I said, I don't care. You need to shout. You need to shout. And here, and then I asked them, goalies, do you like when you concede a goal? Do you like to concede? No goalie likes it. So that's your job, to create the right mindset on your team for them to dislike to concede as well. Because if you concede, then you're like, I want more. It's not going to work because your teammates will see and they'll be like, ah. But if you're like, you need to go there, you need to do this, you need to do that all the time, you're always on their toes. You're always focused. Because they know if the other team scores, you'll be on their toes saying, you need to do this more. And this is not trash talking. It's like giving the awareness to your teammates, the importance of defending all the time. And yet, respondi genericamente. Any other question? Anything else you want to ask? No? Sure? Say no. No more. Or never more. Like in the weddings. Any questions, doubts, anything? No? So, you sit on the go there.
What do you think? Shall we make some recovery, active recovery?
Yeah, we will do some active recovery.
What are you thinking? Shall we go down and
Yeah,
make some
just
active
half
recovery?
an hour, yes. Small stuff, yeah.
Defensivo, talvez eu só amanhã e também. Vou dar aqui a fazer a pressão. Tá bom. Ok, 4, 5, 5. Nej. Jeg skal se, om jeg kan fange mig.
Det handler ikke om, at du er skadet. Nej.
Gave him cover. Just stand still on the same place.
face of the then they'll fall. How many times I told you to man mark or to be aware of the man? Never. Never. And you're saying, never ever. I told you. Hey, look, he's not there. The only thing I was worried about with the center mids, and I worked a bit more with you than with him, because he was doing better than because I'm worried about the line of play. Avoid through wall. And this last one is a perfect example of what you need to avoid. Inside, you need to go outside. That's what you need to think. Okay, like, sure you don't have any questions? Yeah, it's stretching, not with your eyes. It's stretching? Yeah, I know the stretch very good, yeah. This one is very good. There's stretching. Yeah, good. So, okay, so you'll do the stretching with me, everyone like this, okay? Yeah. Push your hip forward, yeah. Up. Okay. Check. lads. Good training. Well done. Yeah. So today, yeah. Good luck for the games in the tournament.